everybody, welcome to Ask Us. Today I'm going to be showing you a few banana recipes. You can have them for snack, for desserts, and even meals. They're super easy, and if you have a bunch of bananas lying around, just like I do, this video is great for you. We're starting our first recipe, these chocolate-dipped paleo banana popsicles, by splitting one banana into halves. If you want smaller portions, you can just cut this into thirds instead. We're going to put this into an airtight container so that the bananas don't become brown while we're doing our work. Now we're going to start our paleo chocolate sauce. So we're putting 2 teaspoons of coconut oil into a microwavable bowl and melting them. You can do this over the stove also. Now I'm taking some Hershey's cocoa powder, which is natural and unsweetened, and I'm having 2 heaping teaspoons of that into our coconut oil. And now we're adding some honey for sweetness. If you like your chocolate really dark and not too sweet, you do not have to add a bunch of honey. And you're just going to give that a really good mix because the honey tends to gather at the bottom, and then you'll have one banana that's not sweet and one banana that's super sweet. Now we're going to take this wooden stick and break it into halves, depending on what size you have. After you have these 2 sticks, you're going to put one banana onto it, kind of like a skewer. And be careful because the banana does tend to come off the stick at the beginning. So you're going to twirl your banana in the paleo chocolate sauce that we made. And as soon as you have gone as far up the banana as you can by twirling it, take your spoon and drizzle it onto the top of the banana until it is almost covered. And you're going to want that first layer to set so we can add our second layer. This will give you that really nice crunch of chocolate. And so I'm taking a plate lined with parchment paper and placing our banana onto that. And make sure that the chocolate is still sticky so we can add the rest of our nuts and hemp parts. So we're going to just make sure every part of your banana is fully covered, and then go in with some chopped nuts. I added chopped walnuts, but cashews and pecans work great too. If you're allergic, you can just leave it out. Now we're going to go in with some hemp hearts. This is just healthy fat, which is also optional. So just tap the spoon onto there and it just makes it look a lot nicer. And you're going to do the same exact thing with this one. The bottom is a little bigger because I let it sit in there for a while. And again, just making sure that the banana is sticky so we can add our walnuts and hemp parts. You can totally do this with other fruit too. I have a strawberry here. I just think that strawberry and chocolate are super good, and this chocolate is super healthy, so why not just go in with that? So you can totally put the walnuts on that one too and just refrigerate it. And that's just going into the fridge. And you don't even have to chill this chocolate paleo sauce. You can just eat it with fruit right away. Now I'm starting a smoothie, which is our second recipe. You don't need too much explanation for this one. It's just bananas, strawberries, and a whole ton of spinach, which is really nutritious for you. I'm also adding hemp hearts, and I added a lot of spinach so you can get that vibrant green color. I'm also adding a lot of milk. If you're going to want to eat it with a spoon, you want a little bit milk. But if you want to drink it, you would add a lot more milk. I'm just blending that up. It looks really red and brown, but it actually came out super vibrant and green. So I had the popsicles and the smoothie together, and they were really good. Our next recipe is this yogurt banana split that I love to have in the mornings for breakfast. I feel it's a really quick way to get a bunch of fruit and healthy things in your body, and it's a really healthy breakfast and makes you feel really good too. So I'm just placing that banana that I've halved onto my plate. Now I'm taking my yogurt. This is kind of acting as our ice cream in our banana split, and I'm just putting that in the middle. Put a little less than you think you would because it kind of flattens out when you close the bananas. It should stick, and then you have a nice banana split. So you could just eat it like that, but I'm adding a few fresh berries. If you want more than the bananas and yogurt, you could just add any fruit that you have. So I have one large strawberry and a handful of blueberries. And I really love adding berries because they're colorful and that just makes me happy in the morning for some reason. And they're really fresh and cool, so I like to have them before school. So after you place all your berries on there, you just want to clean up the plate like I did. So now you just have to add whatever you want. I'm adding granola, but if you have, this is homemade, but if you have like nuts or seeds that you want to add, you can add those too. So all of this is optional. So I add my granola, and then here are some chia seeds that you can gel up if you would like to, but I just put them straight on there. And now I'm adding a few hemp parts, which is healthy fat because we don't have a lot of fat in this breakfast. And I'm also adding flax seeds. These you can also gel up, but you don't need to. And I just had a few nuts on the side, and that's pretty much it. And now comes our grand finale, which is this amazing banana bread. I highly recommend making it. And it's super delicious, really moist and crunchy, and just overall delicious. So I'm starting with mashing 3 ripe bananas into in a bowl and putting that into a stand mixer. You can just do this without a stand mixer. You can just combine it with by hand. This is totally optional. I'm also adding 1/2 cup sugar and about 2 tablespoons of honey into there. And then I'm also going in with 1 full egg. It's about a medium size. And then I'm also adding 1/3 cup of a neutral flavored oil and just mixing that until you can no longer see the oil. The recipe is in the description box also if you needed that. So now I'm just preheating my oven to 350 or 180 Celsius. And so after that is mixed up, we're adding 1/3 cup of milk. I haven't tried it with non-dairy, but I think it should be fine. And now I'm adding 1 full cup of wheat flour. You can do all purpose if you want. Now I'm adding 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and mixing that all together in my standard mixer. I have it on the speed 2 for about a minute. And now I'm doing my add-ins. You can totally just bake it off right now, but I'm adding a few mix-ins just to make it a little more interesting. So I have a handful of walnuts, and then I also have flax seeds, which all of these are optional. I have a handful of blueberries, and then I'm violently shaking a chocolate chip bag because was kind of running out of them, so I was trying to get everything out. But I have about a 1/4 cup of chocolate chips in there. And I'm just mixing that all together, gently folding it because you don't want to overmix your cake batter. And now I'm just greasing my pan with the spray canola oil, but you can totally do it with butter. And then I'm also adding my banana bread mixture or batter into my loaf pan. A warning, it will take a little longer if you do it in a loaf pan. It would take a little less longer if you did it in like a cake pan. So I'm topping it with chocolate chips and walnuts, and I'm just putting that in. So I baked it at 350 for about 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes, and then I had it at 300 for 30 minutes, and it should come out looking quite dark, but it is super delicious. It's really nice and moist in the inside and crunchy on the outside and just so good. And that is our video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video.